All right, it looks like we're live. Welcome, everybody. If you have any comments, of course, or questions that you want to ask, just put it in the comment section, and I will answer them. If you go into the comment section after this is a recording, after the live version, you can leave a comment, and I will get back to you with an answer on what you might have if you're not here for the live show. Okay, so welcome again. Now, yesterday I was talking about the 1 gram tablet, and I said today we're going to be talking about the 4 gram tablet. But there's a new Google update coming down the pipeline. In fact, it's not coming down the pipeline, it's happening right now. So, over the next couple of weeks, Google is doing a new algorithm update, and it's the largest update since 2012 when they had the Panda update. Those of you that were in the business of doing SEO back in 2012 know really, really well how hard that was for a lot of websites, and especially a lot of SEO companies, because it changed the palette of how we do things, but basically overnight. And that's what's about to happen again. So I thought this was pretty important to talk about and give you some ideas. If you're doing your own website design, or you're using another company other than us, then I just want to help you out so you know what you need to have. Now, if we've built the websites, I always build them for the client and not for the algorithms, for not for Google, because that will never work. All right, because what happens is, you know, when when SEO companies build it for the algorithm so they can rank really high, it doesn't normally make sense to the client that's looking at the website, because they're using a lot of keywords. It's keyword rich, so they can come up for all these different terms, right? And that's not always like plain English talking. Okay, so the new update is called the Helpful Content Update. And I took some notes here. I've been reading about this now for a couple of months and really going over it because it concerns all of us in our business, right? If you're ranking really high right now and your website is built more for search engines so it can rank high, you're probably going to be screwed. You're probably going to lose all your rankings. And they're talking about, if you lose those rankings, it's going to take several months to get it back if you do the work, if you do it correctly. So, what is Helpful Content Update? What exactly is that? And why is Google doing this? As you all know, all search engines like Google and Bing, better known, it's Microsoft advertising, but it was known as Bing, right? All the different places, all those search engines that we go after, right? Those are search engines. And when you do a search, and you're searching for something like how to make an apple pie, let's use that as the first example. So let's say you're searching for how to make an apple pie on Google. This is only affecting Google right now, but as you know, anytime Google does something, the other ones seem to follow. Like at Microsoft, Bing will follow suit, right? Because it's the right thing to do. And I think Google's making a really good move here, because I think it's important that people get what they need. They get the right information. So if I'm searching how to make an apple pie, and I come to a website and it's showing me, 5 ways to make an apple pie, and then it's showing me where I can buy frozen apple pies, where I can buy utensils, because when you're writing content for the search engines, and Google's trying to figure out if you're the right site right now, as of now, but now that's all going to change. And you have all these different things that have to do with an apple pie, like, like maybe a baking sheet for an apple pie, those kind of things, all related to that apple pie. As far as, you're trying to get ranked in the search engine. So if somebody searches any way they search, you're going to come up. You're going to be ranking high on the organic search. This is organic we're talking about, by the way, organic search engines, right? We all want to be that on the first page, because we all know by the time you get to the second page, you might as well be dead. That's where we hide bodies, on the second, third, fourth page of Google. No one goes there unless there's an outright emergency, like flooding or a hurricane, and you're looking for a restoration company or something like that because your house was flooded from a hurricane. People are going to go through the list, and then they'll go to the next pages because everybody's full and they can't help you. Anyway, what Helpful Content Update means is this. If I search how to make an apple pie, That's all I need to talk about on that page. If I'm the king of making apple pies, I'm going to have a page on how to make an apple pie. I'm not going to talk about the utensils you use. I'm not going to talk about where to buy frozen pies, where to buy dough. I'm not going to talk about any of that stuff. I'm going to give you information directly related to that search, how to make an apple pie. Because when I search how to make an apple pie, I usually have my ingredients, and if I don't, it's going to be on how to make an apple pie anyway. It's going to tell you this much cinnamon, this much nutmeg, whatever. You got to put this much water in the dough. So what Google's saying is there's way too many sites out there for years and years, like a lot of spammers that are keyword heavy. They got all these different things in there on one page. When somebody searches how to make an apple pie, they're telling them everything else, right? Like how to buy utensils, where to buy them, where the best deals are, all that kind of stuff that's not related to my exact search. Google's going to be looking at websites now. And what they're going to do is they're going to look to see, are you helping that client? Are you helping them with their search query? Because at the end of the day, Google is as rich as it is because their search engine is pretty much the best. When somebody searches for something, they get exactly what they're looking for most of the time. Google does not like it when somebody goes to a page and it has a bounce rate, a very quick bounce rate, which means they go to the page and like, oh, that's not what I want. And they leave, right? That's bounce rate. So the faster they leave, the Google sees that as, oh, that website, that page is not related to this. And listen, you might think you got all these keywords and all these pages, and you've written all this content on all these pages, and then you're writing blogs that are very specific to each problem. It doesn't matter if any of your pages, if Google deems it not helpful to the client because you're giving them too much information outside of what they're asking for, your whole website will be tagged and it'll start losing rank quickly. Now, over the next 2 weeks, this update's coming out. It's already started. And over the next 2 weeks, we're going to see where people land with their SEO. So you got to be thinking about this as you build a website or as you try. Let's say you get hit by Google's new update, right? And you're number 3 for most searches on the first page of Google, right? Number 1, number 2, number 3, something like that at the top. It's a great place to be because, you're going to get a lot of work organically because people aren't going to keep scrolling to the second page. So if your content is not answering that question directly for that search, Google's going to tag you and you're going to start losing rank. So it's extremely important that you all understand that. And listen, I know we've all read this stuff that, people, SEO companies think that you got to have 500 words or more, or you got to have all this content, right? Content's good. There's nothing wrong with content as long as it's done correctly. So you might think you got to have all this content, and you don't. Google says it can be one sentence as long as it answers the question, as long as it's helpful to that client. And so Google's going to know this because Google sees when people go to websites, they see they're going to be botting your site to see if it's helpful or not. Nobody knows how the algorithm works, right? We're not sure of it. And I'm in several groups talking about this now. We don't know what Google's, what their algorithm is like. We just know by talking with them what they expect. And they expect their client, the searcher, to go to your website when they search for something. And it's exactly about that. It helps them. It solves a problem. So you got to think about your content like this. If I go to your website and I want to make an apple pie, am I going to go to your website and find like, here's the recipe, here's a video showing how to do it with the content step-by-step, how to make a perfect apple pie, right? The perfect temperature in the oven and how long you leave it in the oven and what it's supposed to look like. And I tell them everything about making that apple pie. And that's all I'm going to read on your website, because that's all I really wanted. I don't care about the other stuff. I'm not looking for that. And the other stuff was great before because it brought you rankings, right? Because it was all related to an apple pie. If you're going to buy a baking dish for apple pies, that's related to an apple pie being baked in that baking dish. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Hey, you know I do my 12 o'clock thing and I'm on there live right now, right, buddy? We talked about this yesterday. Every day. Yeah, that's why I'm awesome and you're not. I will buy. Thanks. I told Jeff Kuntz, he was calling me. I told him this yesterday about this. Anyway, okay. So you need to start thinking about your website like that. Hey, Anna, how you doing? Annalise Compton, man, it's been a while since I've talked with you. How's it going there in sunny, hot, humid, bug infested, snake infested, alligator infested Florida? When you put it that way, it doesn't sound as awesome. But if I say beautiful sunsets, awesome beaches, it's much better, right? Okay, anyway. So, Anna, we're talking about helpful content update on websites and what that means to people. And I'm talking about that because it's important. Whatever better than your crap cold. It's not cold. Anna. It is. It is 80 degrees. So it's warm, but it will get cold. But I got a really cool thing called a heater. It's going to be awesome. Okay, anyway, so listen, I know Florida's beautiful, and I'm only saying that because I don't get to be there. Anyway, so helpful content update is extremely important that you understand as you build out your website, as you maybe you get tagged and you got to fix it. All this is about is the client comes to your website with a question, and you better answer that question, and that's all you answer on that page. If you're going after certain keywords, like I work with a lot of odor removal companies, and I build websites just like this with helpful content. I've always done that. I've never cared about what you had to do to rank high, even though good content will rank, right? I don't stuff my websites with a lot of keywords, and just so I can rank, right? I try to answer the question. That's why I'll have a website like our odor websites that have all these different pages for each odor. And we will talk about that odor, how we get rid of it, what we do, and so because we want that client to be educated enough to want to hire us. They're like, well, this is exactly what I need. I need Anna in Florida to get rid of my smoke odor because we smoked in this house for 20 years. We're trying to sell it. And now that the interest rates have went up, I'm in a worse position now because now I have to do something about it because people now the houses aren't selling like 100,000 over asking anymore because interest rates are up. Now I got to fix that smoke odor. I got to get rid of it so I can sell my house at top value because interest rates went up. I'm not going to get all that extra money anymore. It's just not going to happen. I may even have to come down on my price if it smells like smoke. And that's what I'm seeing. I watch the real estate market a lot because at some point I'm going to buy another home for an investment or something. So I'm watching, right, to see what's happening. And I'm watching prices really come down. Okay. So if they're going after smoke odor, cigarette smoke odor, I have a page for cigarette smoke odor. I talk about how good we are at it. I don't talk about other things on that page. I'm not trying to stuff it with keywords and not make sense. Really, it's really pretty simple when you think about it. It's a simple question, right? And I wrote this down. This was pretty good right here. So let me find it. Okay, so this was really good, and this is from Google. So they're going, let's say the searcher type best lawn mower. Do they really need an article that explains what is a lawnmower? No, they're looking for the best lawnmower. Just tell them this Honda 10 horsepower lawnmower is the best on the market and why it's the best. Now you're talking about the best lawnmower. Types of lawnmowers, nope, they don't care about that. And also how to start a lawnmower. So in the past, we would write stuff, right? Like how to start a lawnmower, for instance, right? Because we know it has the word lawnmower in there and we're going to rank because we're hitting every angle we can about this best lawnmower, right? We're trying to really stuff those keywords in there. So Google sees our page as the right content because it talks about lawnmower all over the page. Now Google's saying, if you're talking about types of lawnmowers, how to start a lawnmower, things like that, you're going to start ranking less. You're going to be moved off that first page because The client didn't ask how to start a lawnmower. All they asked was what is the best lawnmower? What, that's all they want to know. And so, you talk about that lawnmower, that's the best lawnmower, and why is it the best lawnmower? That's all you're going to do. So would landing page be better than website? Okay, so that's a great question, Mitch, and I do it both ways, right? We do landing pages and we do websites. Here's what really matters. Um, I like both, right? And I'm trying to think of a great way to reply to this. Okay, so I have landing pages because the main reason I use landing pages sometimes, and it depends on the part of the country that I use the landing page, because the website's not working as good as a landing page. But in another area, like where Anna is in Florida, the website outperforms the landing page because I've tested all this, okay? But the purpose of a landing page is exactly that. There's nothing else on there except that one thing, cat urine odor. It just talks about cat urine odor. But at the same time, I build my websites just like landing pages. There just happens to be a bunch of landing pages because it's a website. I have it for every odor. So I don't think it matters, Mitch, that it's a landing page or a website, as long as you're specific. But dump the stupid cat fee. Okay. So, oh yeah. So I will. Okay. So listen, man, that took my train of thought. Wow. Anyway, it doesn't matter if it's a landing page or a website, as long as it's about that specific item and you're showing them, all you're doing is talking about that, right? You're not talking about maybe your cat is urinated because you've changed its food, its diet, or something like that. And in the past, we would write that kind of stuff, right? Because now we're grabbing all these keywords, so it doesn't matter how somebody searches, Google's going to rank us. Now Google is gonna stop that, because there's so many spammers out there that have nothing to do with your searching for. They just socked it full of keywords, and that's really bad. You don't want to do that, right? And so thank God that I knew this in the past. I knew that that's how you're supposed to do it anyway, because when I go to a website and I'm looking for something, I'm looking for that one something. I don't care about everything else. And it bothers me when I got to read through all this crap to get to exactly what I need to know. If I need to know how to bake that pie, that's all I want to know. I want to know how to bake that best apple pie in the world, right? I want you to give me the ingredients. I want to see a video, right? And here's what's cool about videos, that Mitch, this might help you too if you're doing some of your own stuff. When you do a video, and like I'm doing right here talking about this, when I'm done with this video, I will put it into, I have software called Descript. And what it does is it takes my video and it turns it into text. And I say a lot, and I've tried to not do it. Believe me, I've practiced, but it doesn't matter. It just comes out and I don't even know I'm saying it. So in Descript, I can take out all the ums. It's called filler words, right? I can get rid of all those filler words real quickly, and now I have some great content. So as long as I'm talking about a specific thing, and that's all I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about, the types of utensils you use for your pie, where to buy pie dough, right? The best pie dough in the world. I want to make this pie, and that's all I want to know. I got to put this much water in the dough. I got to do this. It's got to rise this long. I got to cover it with a cloth. However, it's I don't bake, but I've seen it done. So that's why I said cover it with a cloth. But so that's what's important. Landing pages are great because they talk about that one specific thing, and it keeps you focused on that one specific thing. But websites are just as good as long as each page talks about that one thing, nothing else, right? So I might have to do a little cleanup on my sites, and I was looking at that, right? Because I might talk about cat urine odor, and I might say, now if you have other pets in your house like dogs or guinea pigs or whatever, go to this page, right? So I may start taking that kind of stuff out and just keep it related just to the cat, because Google's looking at everything, and they're gonna grade my site based on what their algorithm says, which we don't know what their algorithm is even looking for, except what they've told us here about it's got to be helpful to the client, and they got to leave feeling satisfied, right? So they're on your site long enough because they're satisfied with what they're looking at. And so, and then Google sees all the words on that one page is exactly that. It's all about that one item, that one subject. And it's I'm going to read the rest of the stuff that I printed, okay? Okay, so unlike many Google algorithms that get applied on a page-by-page basis, this new helpful content update will be site-wide, just like Panda was in 2012, okay? That means that if Google determines your site is producing a relatively high amount of unhelpful content, primarily written for ranking in search, then your whole site will be impacted. That means your site will no longer be at the top. It's going to go away, okay? Okay. All right. Do you have an existing or intended audience for your business, or a site that would find the content useful if they came directly to you? Exactly what I'm talking about. So your niche, if they're cat owners and their cat urinates on the floor, when they go to our site or the landing page, is it going to be helpful to them? Am I going to answer their questions? So remember, the only questions that I'm going after is they want to hire an agency, or they not. No, I'm sorry, I'm an agency. They want to hire a professional odor removal company. I'm not selling products on there, so all my keywords are related to that. So my website is only related to a service business doing the job for that client. And when they look for that and they go there, it better just talk about that, okay? Does your content clearly demonstrate firsthand expertise and a depth of knowledge? For example, expertise that comes from having actually used a product or service or visiting a place. When I talk on our websites, I talk about we're pros and we're experts, and that's all we do. So I am already saying that on the site, okay? So I'm talking about we are the experts. After reading your content, will someone leave feeling they've learned enough about the topic to help achieve their goal? And the goal is on our sites is for them to buy from our clients like Anna, right? So they buy because she does advertising with us, and I want them to hire her and use her in their homes. Will someone reading your content leave feeling like they've had a satisfying experience? Yes. So if the site gets hit by the helpful content update, it will take several months for the site to recover. This is right from Google. I just copied it. It's from Google. Several months. I'm so excited about this update because I can't wait for us to be ranking higher than some of these people where their sites suck. You know, a lot of you know that we build websites, right? And you can hire companies to build a website. They usually charge $14.97, $19.97. I'm looking at a company right now that charges $70,000 to build a website. And it's funny as heck, and they're actually getting clients. And it's more for e-commerce, but I'm looking at what the competition's doing, right? So I've looked at these sites for $19.97 from our competition, and they're each page has a little content, maybe 500 words, a picture, and that's it. And it doesn't really even go into how they're going to help you, right? So they're all in trouble right now, and I'm looking forward to that trouble because it's going to help me rank higher with the people that pay Craig and I to do the work for them. Okay. So we talked about the lawnmower thing, right? And they've even said that. They've even said this. Just a page. Okay, however. Okay, a shorter article may be what is more helpful to the searcher in this situation. So the headline in there, I didn't copy the headline. The headline was talking about, all of us SEOs have always heard that it's good to have 500 words or more, right? Have at least that. Google just told us that that's not true. It's a shorter article may be what is more helpful to the searcher in this situation, right? It could be a yes or no answer on what they're asking, or it could be a one sentence answer and it gives them exactly what they need, right? Like, did the dinosaurs die when that meteor hit Earth or whatever? Yes, dinosaurs died in 6 million BC when the meteor hit the Earth, and it gives a date and everything. So it just answered my question very quickly, very short answer. Okay, so it's fairly simple. Okay, all right. So I think it's pretty simple. I think we all understand this fairly. Um, I think this is a simple concept. You write, you give them what they need. When you're building your website and you do water damage, you're talking about water damage on that page. You extract water and then you dry it. You're very helpful to that client. You're telling them the steps for water damage, right? You're not telling them where they can buy their own dehumidifier. You're not telling them where to go rent air movers or anything like that, right? You're not telling them that, hey, I have my air movers only use 3 watts of electricity, so I can plug a whole bunch of air movers into your socket. They don't care. A homeowner doesn't even know that exists. They don't care. All they care is you can get their house dry. You can work with their insurance company because most water damage is covered by insurance. So anything that's relevant to that search and helps that client feel satisfied that they're hiring the right company because that's exactly what they were looking for, you're going to do okay. And I've been in several meetings about this. I've already been talking to several other SEO companies. I read a lot of stuff from Search Engine Land. They always have great articles, and it seems like it's going to be okay for the stuff that I've built. But I don't know for sure because it's just rolling out. So I'm watching our rankings that where we're working with clients, and I'll be watching to see what happens. But like I said a few minutes ago, I'm going to look at some of my pages where I say, look, if you have other pets and they've urinated, also go to our dog odor removal page, and where we talk about how much easier it is to do dog urine odor removal. Okay, so I'm going to be removing that stuff and keeping it relevant just to what the search is, and I'm going to change that. I'm doing that fairly quickly because I don't want to get hit for this. But I think most of my stuff is good enough and it's helpful enough that I'll be okay. The next few weeks, the next month is going to tell me, am I on the right track, or any of us on the right track? And well, Google's saying all we got to do is keep our customers happy and give them exactly what they're looking for. Okay, so that's all you got to do. I know I was going to talk about the 4-gram today. I think this is extremely important because it's already started. The algorithm update has started. I don't know how many of you were doing anything in 2012 with your business. I was doing my own advertising back then. I don't remember when Panda hit that I got hurt. I think I stayed like #1 for Ameridry through that. I can't remember because I wasn't like a marketing genius back then. I'm still not a marketing genius. None of us are. We're always learning. I was just doing my thing and I wasn't reading all this outside stuff, right? I was out there doing the work with my guys, and I was running a business. I didn't have time to look for it like I do now. Now my job, because I'm an owner of an ad agency, my job now is to make sure I protect all of you. So that's what I'm doing. I'm constantly trying to learn. And Anna, I'll take care of the stupid cat pig for sure. So anyway, thank you all for being here. We got 2 more minutes, so I got to kill 2 more minutes. Hey, thanks for that question, Mitch. That's a great question. I love landing pages because it keeps people focused on one thing. Because I test both, and it's weird how, in Chicago, for instance, a landing page works really, really well. But in Florida, it doesn't work. Like the people want to see a website there. And I don't know if it's because older people think that's what they're supposed to be looking at because a lot of retired people moved to Florida. Maybe that's it. I don't have the answer. I just know that it wasn't working as well during the test, because you can do experiments on every campaign, on every account, and you can see what works better, right? So I'm constantly testing. And of course, you all know that there's no more expanding text ads available. Now it's all about RSAs, right? So on our ads. So that's a whole nother subject that I'll talk about at another time. Dude, this is a very pretty shirt. Oh yeah, I was wearing the same shirt the other day. John, you want to hear something funny? I've actually got 4 gold shirts. I don't wear the same shirt every day. I make my life real easy. If I like a shirt, like I have like 5 black ones, the same, like from Duluth. I like Duluth shirts because they last forever. They're thick, right? I have 4 of these gold ones. So it's not the same shirt. I just change into another shirt. I try to make less stress on my mind. But this is a beautiful shirt. What do you think, Anna? Is this a beautiful shirt? Anna might not be here anymore. I know Mitch loves my shirt. So, and I love my shirt, John. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Look forward to talking to you all tomorrow. We'll get back to the 4-gram tablet tomorrow. Okay. All right. Y'all have a great day. I really appreciate a few of you showing up. Bye-bye now.